Hi, I'm Rob Sobek from Don's Appliances in Canonsburg. Here with me today is my cohort.
Hi, I'm James Hayes, also from Canonsburg. So I think today we wanted to touch on appliances made in the USA
Here at home.
here at home. So there's a handful of brands that are still doing production here in the United States. I think we were just talking about it off camera a little bit, and maybe the biggest company still producing here in the States is going to be under the Whirlpool Corporation, under their little umbrella, which will encompass Amana, Whirlpool, Maytag, KitchenAid, and Genair.
And Gladiator.
And Gladiator.
Yeah.
When you think about those brands, I mean, like a brand like the Whirlpool, actual Whirlpool brand name, what kind of comes to mind to you, Rob?
When I think Whirlpool, I think of Harvest Gold and Avocado Green appliances back in the 70s and 80s, but that's how they grew their name. That's how people established the idea that Whirlpool is a reliable American-made brand. But I would say your core refrigerator, range, microwave, dishwasher, that's the automatic thought when it comes to the name Whirlpool. But then you have that next step in Maytag where people aren't thinking kitchen, they're more thinking laundry.
Laundry, yeah, absolutely. And they have some really cool laundry pieces out now. I'm a really big fan of the new front load sets that they have out on the market. They seem to be doing really well in customers' homes, performance-wise. And then above that, I mean, you have KitchenAid.
Your premium line. So Whirlpool and Maytag share a lot of factory room together. KitchenAid, conversely, shares a lot of factory room with Genair, that luxury line. But people definitely think premium. They think of dishwashers. They think of the stand mixer, that every woman's dream, KitchenAid stand mixer.
I have one home myself.
So do I.
Yeah, and then they even do some cool kind of like higher end, like 36-inch ranges and built-in refrigeration and stuff under the KitchenAid brand name too. So they have a pretty wide berth of products under that name. And then the premium line would be Genair.
Right.
And a brand like Genair, they do have some freestanding appliances, but most people I think are associating with like kind of higher end built-in kitchen appliances, and it's all done here in the United States.
And Genair was like 80s and 90s. They were cream of the crop, high end. That's when they were owned by Maytag. They invented the downdraft cooktop. Everybody had those downdrafts with the grill that don't work.
But well, that's another story.
Yeah, that's from years ago. But I mean, Genair has always been considered a luxury brand. And when Whirlpool bought out Maytag Genair, the relaunch, the idea was Genair is at top of the top. And I think our displays throughout our Dawn showrooms and in the surrounding area really show and maintain the idea that it's the highest end.
Yes, 100%. And talking about high end, there's a handful of appliance companies doing that in the States now too. Wolf Sub-Zero is predominantly here in the United States, right? We said they're up in Wisconsin and Arizona for what they're offering. And obviously, I mean, I don't know if anyone really does appliances better than they do right now.
And with that being said, lead times in this day and age, why they still have a lead time to Sub-Zero refrigeration mostly is about testing and not being willing to change part suppliers and putting out a subpar product. So they definitely have a high line that they try to maintain whenever it comes to their appliances. I've been to the factory in Madison, Wisconsin, and I will say you could probably eat off the floor at any given minute of any given day. It's a very clean factory and well kept, and they take pride in what they build here, definitely.
They haven't invited me up there. I'm going to have to talk to them about that.
Maybe got to sell more. I don't know.
So, and then something maybe a little closer to home. Here in Pennsylvania, we have a brand called Blue Star, and they're really, really known for the ranges. The Painter Prizer Stove Company, they've been around since the 1800s, and they've been building in Reading the whole time. And they're really known for doing some cool colors and some other things on their ranges, performance-wise.
Open burners.
Yes.
It's for the master chef. If you ever went into a home that got remodeled in maybe the 50s and 60s, and you see that big range that looks like it belongs in a church, that was a Garland range, and Blue Star acquired Garland and made it residentially approved. So that's I believe that's the only open burner range that we sell is Blue Star.
Yeah, 100%. And even like some of the guys I used to work with when I worked in kitchens, a lot of them have put Blue Stars in your home. So yeah, to your right, if you like to cook a lot, that's an awesome brand to kind of look into. True Refrigeration, another super high-end brand, and biggest refrigeration company in the world at this point.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
so mostly known for commercial product, but they do have a residential line which we carry here. And then, is there anyone we're missing in the kind of that sphere?
Oh, well, in that sphere, I don't believe so. Pretty much everything else has been outsourced outside the United States when it comes to like the high-end lines. But then an everyday name that most people just assume that there's no American production, but LG makes front-load washing machines in Tennessee.
That's correct. Yeah.
Bosch builds dishwashers in North Carolina.
Yeah. GE still has some production here too.
In Louisville, Kentucky.
And their parent company, Hair, I think, had announced they was spending like $750 million in expanding that plant out. So you're probably going to be seeing a lot more coming out of Tennessee from them.
And I believe Samsung is doing something very similar. So
yes.
If you remember the tariffs that came in around 2017, 2018, which made LG bring that plant here, that hasn't changed, and it's gotten worse.
Yeah.
So I believe Samsung has a very similar plan to Hair.
Yeah, I think I heard North Carolina for them, but I'm not positive. And then some semiconductor plants and things like that. But that's not really appliance related. Well, it is, but not. So, yeah, I mean, all those brands, they have some great offerings. Obviously, Bosch, you touched on them. They actually have design plants in the United States, so they actually do a lot of their design here, not just in Germany. And then most of their dishwashers are coming out of North Carolina for our market. Some of it's still German, but you can usually tell the difference between the two as far as if you just look at them spec-wise, layout-wise. Yeah, there has to be something else.
Well, what we're missing is you see a lot of stickers that say "Made in America" on appliances, whether it's in our showroom, in your home, wherever you might be. But made in America, that definition is kind of loose. You know, assembled in America is the same thing as made in America. Just I believe the barometer is at least 30% of the parts or something. And if it's assembled here, it's considered made here. But these brands that we're talking about, maybe they source some parts from outside the U.S., but these appliances are actually manufactured here in the United States.
Yeah.
We could highlight the fact that Whirlpool Corporation has both a residential and a commercial side of things. You have Whirlpool and Maytag coin-operated laundry for rental units. You have Maytag and Whirlpool laundry for laundromats. You have Speed Queen. Speed Queen is built here.
Oh yeah, 100%. Speed Queen, and they have a very kind of limited line on the residential side, but just really high quality product. And then you do see them in a lot of laundromats and everything else across the country.
And that's the bar to which everyone else aims for is Speed Queen laundry. That's people come in and ask for it by name for a good reason. There's a cult following to Speed Queen, and I've heard Made in America a lot bringing it up, but typically it's someone who's owned one for a very long time and they want to own another one for a very long time.
Yes, 100%. Well, I mean, I think that covers a lot of what we were trying to touch on today. So thanks for having me here.
If you're interested in products that are made in America or anywhere else for that matter, come and see us at Don's Appliances in Canonsburg or go to donsappliances.com.